Chapter 1, personal financial planning, knowing how to plan your finances. What are the benefits of planning? I would assume most people do not plan, and we want to become people who do plan our finances and we have a plan. Always like my pictures. So, section 1, financial goals and decisions, setting different types of goals, and also understanding what goes into our buying decisions. So, first, personal financial planning, its benefits. One of the benefits of planning. Okay. First off, you have more money security, mainly security, because you know where your money is going, flowing in, money that's flowing in, money that's flowing out. You also have less chance of going into debt. Kind of goes inside of what I just noted. You know where all your money is. Thirdly, you can support your family. Now, this is for when you're older. By planning your finances, you're also planning for your family, for children, putting money aside because you know what you have. And lastly, when you plan your finances, you can achieve your financial goals. And that's kind of big in this section. All right, goals being what you want to accomplish. You all should have life goals, okay? And you also have financial goals, things you want to buy. And these goals should be in line with your values. Your values being the beliefs and principles that you consider are important, beliefs that you consider are, are correct. So, for an example, eventually when I move out, a value of mine is I don't want to rent. I don't want to move into an apartment. I want to own something. So my goal is to one day when I move out to own a home or to own a condo, which you own as well. So that is one of my values. Make sure that you are defining goals and values at the bottom, everything that's in this gray box. But moving on to goals, there's three main types. First one being a short-term goal, less than 1 year. All right. So financial goals that are less than 1 year. So say if you want to buy clothes, you have a goal of buying a certain clothes, certain sneakers, a certain phone. If you want to buy the new iPhone 6 Plus, a certain TV, etc. Secondly, intermediate goals. Those are your goals that are between 1 to 5 years. Short-term goals or you're less than 1 year. Intermediate is purchases that you see yourself making within the 1 to 5 years. So for a lot of you, it would be paying for college or buying your first car. Okay. And thirdly, long term, these are goals that are over 5 years. Think even more farther down the line. That would be for a lot of you, your first home or possibly your second home. Either further than that would be your retirement. Okay. So the three main types of financial goals, and these goals that you create, okay, are for different needs. And there are three main needs that you set financial goals for. First one being goods. If you want to set a financial goal to buy a good, and there's two main types, okay? Goods, when we say goods, being a physical item that is produced, that you can see, that you can feel. All right, keep that in mind. First one being consumable goods. Those are goods that you use often, you use quickly, I should say, and you make often. So a good that you make often would be gas. A good that you use and make often would be food. Okay, usually day-to-day items. Second type of good, durable goods, they are more expensive that you don't purchase as often. So the example of that could be a car, a refrigerator, a dryer, a washing machine. A lot of things that are in your house or your apartment are durable goods. Your financial goals can also be for a service need. If you're saving or you want to buy a service, services are tasks that a machine or a person performs for you. So if you go get your hair cut, that's a service. If you get a manicure pedicure, that is a service. And lastly, you set goals for the need of intangible items. Those are items that you can't touch, they're not physical, like a service. Services aren't physical, so are intangible items, but they are important for your well-being. Intangible, an example that could be personal relationships. Now, if you have a significant other, a goal of buying them something for Valentine's Day, for their birthday, for the holidays. Education is also an example of an intangible item. You can't touch education. Okay, but that's a goal for you to, say, go to college or go to university. So your three main needs that you set goals for, okay, just some, give you some visual examples: your consumable, durable, services. You can also include your doctor in there, a lawyer, and then lastly, your intangible items. Another one could be you love to travel. That's intangible. You can't hold travel, but it's expensive. Buying airplane tickets, booking hotels, okay? Intangible items can be very expensive, so just to be aware of that. Now, lastly, three main influences. We talk about setting goals, the benefits of planning, but what influences your decisions of buying, of saving, of investing? What influences all that? All right, and there's three influences. One being your life situation. Okay, if you want to go to college, that would be an influence. That would influence you to go to a 2 or 4 year school. If you want to start a new career, that's going to influence whether you may, referring back to college, have to go back to school to obtain a new degree. If you want to move to a new city, that's going to influence you to look at apartments and maybe buy an apartment in New York or Chicago, etc. So, kind of what's going on in your life influences your financial decisions. Secondly, your personal values. All right, that's your independence. If you want to be independent, you may want to move out as soon as you graduate high school. Okay, that's going to influence your decision of maybe saving money for an apartment. Okay, examples could also be personal freedom when we said traveling. And third influence, and we'll go more into this in class, is economic factors. And that's going into supply and demand. That's also going into financial institutions, the Federal Reserve, if you ever heard of the Fed.